All right, so today we're going to look at our employee timesheet and talk about authorizing our own shifts as well as leaving comments for our supervisor. So we're here on the home page of George Williams, and we're going to go into employee timesheet. This will show you all of the hours that you've worked this week and any issues that there might be. So we're actually going to go back a couple of weeks. And so we are in the screen for the week of April 26th, and we can see the hours that he worked. So on Friday, he worked 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. On Saturday, he worked 6:30 a.m. to 12 a.m. You see at the top left corner of this box, there is an exclamation point with a circle around it. And it says, in punch exception, early in. So if you are asked to come in early, either by your supervisor or by another employee, this is where you'd want to enter a comment. So in this case, George was asked by Sarah to cover part of her shift. I'm just leaving a comment here so they do know that he was covering part of another shift. Same for this one here. We can see that this was a late in. Well, George wasn't actually late that day. He was there at 5, but he forgot to clock in. So we're going to put here on time. Forgot to clock in at 5. So leaving these comments allows your supervisor to know, like, hey, this was a mistake. You do need to be paid for that time, and so they can edit that punch for you. In this case, this is early out, so he can say, left early for my doctor's appointment. That was approved. So now we've left some reasons for these exceptions here. This will be things that your supervisor can see when they're going in to authorize your payment. So now what we can do is we can look at all these shifts and say, yes, these are all correct. And we hit authorize up here with that little stamp. You can see now a little blue guy with a check mark over his head has appeared on the right-hand corner of that day. By authorizing your time, you are showing your supervisor that you've checked your time for that week and that everything is correct. Also, when you're in this screen, if you hover on a day, you can come up here to this drop down and you can click pay, and it's going to show you exactly what you're paid for this week. So it can show you that, hey, you're being paid for 6 hours on Friday, 5 hours on Saturday, but it shows that you're not being paid for that half hour because it was outside of your shift. That's why you definitely want to leave a comment for your supervisor to make sure you are getting paid for that time. So we're getting paid for a total of 23 hours, not paid for 1 hour. You can also look at problems. So any issues that you might have in your shifts that you would want to leave a comment about. You can look at your balances. So right now there's no daily balance information on that day. You can look at your audits. And so these are audits that your supervisor has done, and you can look at punches. So the last thing we want to do before we leave this page is we do want to hit save. So all of our comments and authorizations are saved for your supervisor to see when they go in to authorize your work on Thursday. It is ideal that you look at all of your time before Thursday evening, because most supervisors are authorizing time Thursday nights or Friday nights.